Hello again. Right, so we've given these brushes 2 coats now of red oxide primer. So we'll just whip them off the magic stand. Now the primer does 2 things. It seals the wood if it's bare wood, but it also, because it's not as smooth as a top coat would be, on a microscopic level it gives a surface for the next coat to key into. So we don't really need to rough this up too much with the sandpaper. It doesn't take much at all. And what we do is give it the next coat, and the next coat is undercoat. So I'll decide which one of these I'm using. I'll use that brush to paint with. Simple oil-based, always use oil-based undercoat. The water-based is nearly as good now, but it's not quite there for my purposes, so what we'll do in a second is just remove the skin from the surface, because it's not been used for a while. I get that all over the floor. Actually, I don't like that at all. That'll do. Now, where were we? Now the next coat, white undercoat, that is so it gives the appropriate surface for the top coat of enamel paint, which is the colour to adhere to, and also so that the red oxide colour doesn't contaminate the actual original colour of the enamel paint that I'm going for. So there we are. And there'll be 2 coats of this going on, as well as the 2 coats of emulsion of primer. Just keep your eyes open for stray bristles. And this will dry quickly, but not as quickly as the primer, so I'll probably only get one coat on here today. I'm not sure if this brush is the right one to use. It seems to be losing bristles. Yeah. If you get one like this, chuck it on the fire. Chuck it straight on the fire, because it's never going to get better. They don't heal up, and it's just going to cause you work and grief. I think we've got them all off. It's a shame and it's unfortunate if you do get one that fails. It just means that the glue inside here where the ferrule is hasn't stuck all the bristles properly, so we'll just lose that. We'll wrap all that up and that'll go on the fire in a minute. Right, where was I? You can be next. Just rough you up the tiniest little bit. Give you a wipe. And away we go again. There. You've just about got the gist of how we're operating here. But I'll do a few more while you watch me. Just been to visit my grandson. He's got work experience coming up next May. I know a little bit about that, and he wanted to either work in my business, which I run, or with his dad, who does a similar thing. But we've tried to dissuade him not to, because the idea of work experience, to my mind, is that they find a completely new experience from that which they know, and it'll change his whole outlook. He'll either come away thinking, wherever he works, if it's a kebab house or an accountancy firm, he'll either come away thinking, God, this is what I really want to do for the rest of my life. This is my calling. I've found it. Or he'll come away with the idea of, God, I really don't want to do that. Ever. What a horrible way to spend your life. But either way, he's won. Because he's gained that extra experience that he won't get from coming to work with me or with his dad. Because he's already done that and he knows it. And he might end up doing it for the rest of his life. But at least he'll have had the choice of a different way of looking at the world. Oh, don't do that. We're getting there. I'm more concerned about, I keep leaving the top off this meths and it all evaporating, but to be honest, the bit of evaporation I get, I'm less bothered about that than the time I'll be spending wasting putting the top on and off it. Anyway, the lad's interested in history, which is a good thing. So of course we've suggested to him that he might try to get a placement in a museum, or failing that in a library, because they're going to be part of the things that are consigned to history before his lifetime is over, maybe before mine is. Libraries are wonderful places, but they're also desperately dirty places. The germs that live in these books, that come from other people's houses, they take them away, they leave them around in their houses, and you don't know the state of their hygiene in their homes. I once had to do some research. Well, I didn't have to, I chose to. And it involved looking at electoral registers which had been compiled over the last 100, maybe 120 years. And I made the mistake as I was turning the pages of licking my thumb to get a grip on the paper. And my mouth was full of mouthfuls for about a fortnight after that. It just shows you these things are not clean. So one good thing about everyone being online and being able to access that information in a digital format is that you're not exposing yourself to the levels of disease that you might otherwise be. And remember when, I certainly remember when libraries were one of the main forms of entertainment, especially as a child, and you just accepted it. You just thought, well, yeah, these books have been in other people's houses and so be it. Horrible that, really. I'm coming across as a germaphobe. I'm really not. Anyway, we'll see what the boy decides to do. If he gets into gear and gets a place sorted out in the next few days, he might get what he wants, but they've been supposedly looking for places since last Wednesday. It's now Saturday. The actual work experience doesn't take place until May, and they've got until the end of January to sort it out. But whether they do or not, and how quickly they do, will determine their choice of placement. I hope he gets something he likes. I'm sure he will. I've always thought it seemed very wrong to be expecting children to make up their minds about what they might want to do as an adult when they're 13, 14 years of age. When they're 13, they have to choose their options at school and decide what subjects they're no longer interested in and the ones they don't like. Well, that's not bad, because if you don't like something, you're not going to succeed at it as a teenager. You're going to avoid it and do as little as you can. Most teenagers anyway. I mean, there are a very small select few who are capable of putting the work in whether they like it or not and doing well, but that's a tiny minority. And again, the work experience isn't about finding what you might want to do. It's well, you might want to do it, but it's about giving yourself that extra experience. I didn't know what I wanted to do till I was, well, I did know, I think. Certainly till I was 40. And you change anyway. You change your mind about what you want to do. I now want completely different things out of life from 25 years ago. Three more and then I'll turn it off. But you've got the gist of it anyway, haven't you? You can see what I'm doing here. As I say, I haven't masked off the ferrule, and I'm not desperately unhappy with the boundary, the border there that I've got. But if I do decide at some point that I don't like it, I can just get a small brush and do a black line or something around that. But it's all good practice with the accuracy anyway. And the last one that you can see me do today will be this one. And I know some of you will be wondering why I'm doing this, but all will be revealed in time to come. There is a good reason. There we go. Right, you've got the general gist of that. I shall do the rest of these, and I'll see you next time I'm back in here to do the second coat of the undercoat. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.